Wisconsin Fieldhouse in Madison. The WIAA State High School Boys Basketball Tournament. Brought to you by the Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin, the men and women who are responsible for the famous milk of the Dairy State. Your cooperative and Land O'Lakes, where the farm-to-food system begins. John Deere and your local John Deere dealer. And the rural companies, serving the insurance needs of Wisconsin families with nearly 300 agents.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the State Boys Class B semifinals. We've got the Chilton Tigers with a 20-4 mark against the Whitnall Falcons, also with just 4 losses on the season. Hello, everybody. I'm Todd Johnson. I'm your host throughout this boys tournament. Both of these teams are here for the first time, so I'm sure they're excited. I know I'm excited. Well, when we come back, we'll talk to the 2 opposing coaches. But right now, we're going to hear from one of your network sponsors. It's your cooperative and Land O'Lakes.
What do nearly 6 million sows, gilts, barrows, and boars have in common? They all get Land O'Lakes Pro Leader. 6 million hogs a year make Pro Leader the #1 supplement in the Midwest. Why? Because Land O'Lakes Pro Leader is the most economical way to turn feed into lean pork. Another good reason to start with you, your cooperative, and Land O'Lakes.
Ever feel like you just can't face another boring burger?
No more burgers.
Turpin, come on in here. We'll get something else for lunch.
If you're tired of burgers, drop into Taco Bell for a taco salad. Fresh vegetables, seasoned ground beef, and real cheddar. You may never have another burger as long as you live.
You know what? We'll go to Taco Bell.
Okay, I'll meet you out front. Come on, I'm hungry.
This is the new Equity One computer by Epson. It comes with 2 disk drives. It's fully IBM software and hardware compatible, but at American it costs less than an IBM. Look at all you get. The system includes this green screen monitor and a quality Epson dot matrix printer. Remember, it's fully IBM compatible. You'd expect to pay over $2,100 for the equivalent IBM, but the Epson compatible system is just $15.99 at American, and with no money down, the computer system is yours for just $60 a month at American.
We're getting set for the tip-off in this Class B semifinal. Right now, I have the Chilton head coach with me, Mr. Jim Eisner. Jim, this is the first time for this team to be at the state. I know you've got to be excited.
Oh, yes, the whole town is excited besides the team and myself.
Well, how has the town been reacting to all this?
Well, they're going crazy ever since we got into the sectionals and now have gone on to the state. We've got all kinds of latent enthusiasm that we never had before now showing up.
What can the fans expect from this ball game tonight?
Pardon?
The fans expect from this ball game?
Well, we're going to try to control the tempo and try to keep the ball out of the inside because they have a good inside game and they like to run.
You have 2 of your own sons on this ball team. How do they operate? I know Todd is the leading scorer with 23 points a ball game.
Well, Mark is an outside shooter and he is also a good passer. He led our conference in assists.
Okay, congratulations and good luck. Thank you. Now we're going to bring in the Whitnall head coach, Mr. Ken Krupa. And Ken, it's also your first state appearance, so I know you're excited.
Definitely. We're very pleased that we got here. It's the first time in Whitnall's history that they've ever been to a state tournament. We're really excited to be here.
I know you have a very strong forward in Dwayne Wilson, a 6'6", 215-pound sophomore. What can the fans look for in him?
He's a very good player. He's really improved since the beginning of the season. He's only a sophomore. He's 6'6", he's 215 pounds. He's projected to be a Division I player in the future, and he's really come along this season for us.
I know you had a couple scares on the way to this semifinal game.
We had a very good sectional. We had a very close game against Waterford, who was #2 in the state at the time. We won on the last second shot against Mayville, who's been to the state tournament the last 6 out of 7 years. So the sectional was very tough for us.
Would you like to slow this game down and work it inside?
Now we want to do the opposite of Chilton. We want to pick up that tempo and go up and down the floor.
That's what I figured. Okay, what can we expect from your team tonight?
What we want to do, we play a tough man-to-man defense. We're going to go 2-2-1 full court press to start the game. We're going to try to take Todd Eisner out of his game and try to stop the rest of their people.
Okay, thank you very much, and the best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Now let's go to the bench and our very capable play-by-play team.
Thank you very much, Todd. Good evening again, everyone. I'm Gary Dauphin, and working with me again this evening, I'm happy to have the outstanding basketball coach at Clintonville High School, Class B school, and Carl Brugink. I've been working on that all day, Coach. I hope I haven't butchered it too bad. We've got 2 Class B teams who have waited for 2 days. We played 8 basketball games. Some schools played twice. Finally, they get to play in the big show, Chilton and Whitnall. It's been a long wait for them.
It's a long wait, but like I said to tip it off this morning, I'd play at 6 if they'd have us. And it is a long wait. In fact, you figure they come down here already Wednesday for a half-hour practice on this floor. But then usually what you'll do is go out Wednesday afternoon or so and practice in one of the local gyms, the Madison area schools, open up the schools. And I'm sure they worked out again yesterday. And then today, possibly even a little shooting practice. But it is a long wait, and I'm sure both coaches and teams are saying, it's finally going to start. The hardest part about this whole thing is the waiting. If you could just play them one right after the other. But
now, it's the first trip to the state tournament for both. One of the reasons why is they played a lot of Class A competition.
Right, and they play in tough leagues, so it'll be should be a real good ball game.
We'll pick up on that later on. Right now, it's time for the introduction of tonight's starting lineups, and here's our PA man, Jack Rain.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the 71st annual WIAA State Boys Basketball Tournament. Here are the starting lineups for tonight's Class B semifinal. For the Falcons of Whitnall, at forward number 41, a 6'4" senior, Brett Matchkey. For the Tigers of Chilton, at forward, a 6'6" senior, number 44, Todd Eisner. For Whitnall, a 6'2" senior, number 21, Jay Geltner. For Chilton, a 6'1" sophomore, number 40, Mark Eisner. At center for Whitnall, a 6'6" sophomore, number 53, Dwayne Wilson. For Chilton, a 6'5" senior, number 42, Scott Bruckner. At guard for Whitnall, a 5'10" senior, number 33, Kevin Martins. At guard for Chilton, a 6'1" senior, number 22, Jim Ronk. For Whitnall at guard, a 6'1" junior, number 45, Ken Wakowiak. For Chilton at guard, a 5'11" senior, number 20, Bob Wolfall.
One of your network sponsors is the Rural Companies, with an agent near you.
You'll find Rural's policy owners all over Wisconsin.
Marshville,
Janesville,
Sheboygan Falls,
Fond du Lac, Cobb, Neenah, Wausau,
Waukesha,
Neillsville, Highland, Independence, Two Rivers.
So for protection, look to the Rural Companies.
Tonight's officials from Milwaukee, John Golombewski, and out of West Dallas, Dennis Coos. And Coach, I look for a very good basketball game between Class B schools that played a lot of Class A competition. In fact, as we look at the lineups and check them once again, Chilton was 6-4 against Class A schools this year. That tells you something.
That certainly does. It should be a whale of a ball game.
Now the Tigers of Chilton are in the home white uniforms, and the Falcons of Whitnall are in the blue. The winner will meet Prairie du Chien tomorrow afternoon for the Class B title, and it's Whitnall controlling the opening tap, and out of bounds, losing it, was Brett Matchkey. He got tripped up as he tried to come out of the pile with it. Now here's that 2-2-1 full court zone that we heard head coach Kent Kropa talk about at the top of the show.
That might be the key, whether Chilton can handle that press.
Mark Eisner, Jim Ronk, and across the line it comes to Bob Wolfel. Now they settle back, Whitnall does, in a man-to-man defense, and firing from way out, and hitting it is Mark Eisner. Now this 6'1 sophomore led the Eastern Wisconsin Conference in assists with 6 a game, but you found out in a hurry he can shoot the sphere as well. Here's the young man we've been hearing so much about, Dwayne Wilson, with a shot inside that won't go, and high for the rebound is Mark Eisner.
Well, and both Eisner boys, of course, are sons of Jim Eisner, the coach.
Same spot, not the same result for Mark Eisner. Scramble for that basketball. Look at him diving on that floor on a jump ball, and already we have that arrow possession a factor. it still will stay in the hands of the Tigers of Chilton. Jim Eisner, by the way, the head coach, this is his second stint. He was there 4 years, left, came back. Now he's a 9-year veteran. So 13 total years at Chilton for Jim Eisner. His ball club with the basketball, Jim Ronk, 6'1" senior, out top with it. This is Mark Eisner to brother Todd, and it crawls back in. Todd Eisner averaging 23 points, 9 rebounds, more than 1,800 career points. He is headed for Creighton and the Missouri Valley Conference next year.
You're going to love seeing him play. I saw him in the Green Bay sectional, of course, and he can do it all, inside, outside, all over.
All right, here's the shot from outside that's good by Jay Geldner. And the 6'3" senior converts. The basket will count, but we do have a foul on Whitnall, and it'll be on Ken Wakoyak, the 6'1" junior, his first and the team's first. So Whitnall, though, more importantly, is on the board. 4-2, Chilton with the lead here in the early going. We played a little more in a minute and a half. Ronk and Eisner play keep away. Now across the line it comes for Bruckner and back out top for Ronk. Very deliberate offense, very well patterned. Jump shot is up and no good by Woelfel, and we'll have a jump ball. The ball belongs to Whitnall this time. These guys look like Class A'ers out there.
Oh, they're big. They're big, and like I've always said, I think the only difference between A and B maybe is the fact that you have more good players in A. You have more kids to choose from, and they both got good squads out here right now.
Well, they say everything's relative no matter what you do, and these guys fight just as hard as any division, but they have that look about them.
Right.
Everybody's big, very well-patterned offenses. Shot from the left side that finds the mark, and that is Kevin Martins. He's considered the general, the floor leader of this ball club. He may be headed to Princeton to play football. Oh, he's got a head. He's got a head in his shoulders. The turnover forced by that Whitnall defense, that full court press, and they look to take their first lead of the night. We're tied at 4. This is Martins again, right side for Wakoyak. Shot is blocked and taken away by tall Scott Bruckner, 6'5". Bruckner averaging 16.5 a game. So we'll look for his work inside.
Chilton in sort of a matchup 1-3-1 zone.
Todd Eisner with a turnaround, and Dwayne Wilson high for the rebound. 6'6", 215 pounds, and he's a 15-year-old sophomore, folks.
Wow.
Jump shot from the top of the key is too hard by Geldner. They get the rebound. Whitnall does. The follow-up is good by Martin. Kevin is 2 for 3 from the perimeter.
Nice balance.
4.
Nice balance on that shot. He looked very good shooting that ball.
3 minutes gone in the opening session here. It's 6-4 Whitnall, their first lead of the night. Now the Tigers of Chilton come back, and it's Todd Eisner in the lane. He misses,
got his own shot, got his own rebound. He really hustled.
Gets his own board back out front to Jim Ronk. This is Bob Woelfel holding. Now Mark Eisner, Todd Eisner. Oh, good move around his defender. What a play. He just froze his man, nailed his sneakers right to the floor, and went around him. 4 for Todd Eisner.
Yeah, he's a good ball player, and like I say, he's had some games 30 points. He averaged, in fact, his scoring is down a little bit this year, but the team is winning more, so he's very unselfish.
At the other end, it's sophomore Dwayne Wilson. Giving Whitnall the lead back, 8-6.
I'll bet you those college coaches are looking at Wilson already. He looks super also.
Well, he's gotten letters from Michigan, Louisville, and Syracuse, and Indiana has watched him play. So that'll tell you something about the future of Dwayne Wilson. Here's a scoop underhanded layup that kisses in off the glass for Mark Eisner, and the basket will count.
I know talking to Jim at sectional, after the sectional, he said they had to get Mark, his younger son, to shoot more. He's only a sophomore. Let's watch it right here, and you can see a great move, and of course he got him on the foul, no question about that.
That's one of those where he's looking for contact, just any kind of contact to go to the foul line. Anything after that is a plus, and he got 2 points, maybe 3. Now it's short, and the rebound is grabbed and then lost by Hackstein, but Whitnall controls in their offensive forecourt. 3:45 remaining first period. We're tied at 8. Nice pass. Nice pass. Martins to Brett Matchkey. Now the people from Whitnall say that Matchkey is the barometer of the club. As he plays, so plays the team. He's a 6'4" senior, heady ball player, and they look to him in the clutch. They look to him there. Eisner has the shot blocked, but Chilton controls. Jim Ronk with it. Baseline jump shooting and missing is Scott Bruckner. And Whitnall's Dwayne Wilson brings it out of there. They'll slow the tempo down. Whitnall by a basket. They have the ball. And we're 3 minutes to play in the opening period. Shooting from the right side, but missing is Hackstein. And we've got a whistle. No basket on the follow-up. We will have a foul called on Whitnall. It's going to be on Wilson. That's his second. So he has to watch it. We've got a timeout on the floor. 3 minutes remaining in the first period. And one of your network sponsors tonight, the Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin.
Milk's got the kick that gives you more. Health kick. More nutrition in every pore. Health kick. I'm moving to the rhythm of a brand new day. Cause the vitamins in milk help me on my way. Kick. So get on a health kick, let it pour. America's favorite health kick. Get on a health kick, milk's got more. Have more milk, cause milk's got more.
Criminals go free on technicalities. Prisoners are released too soon and commit more crimes. These are your concerns. These are my concerns.
See all these new cars? Watch them disappear. That's what's happening during our 86 factory invoice sale, where we show you dealer cost only at Gordy Boucher, Lincoln Mercury.
Right now, get our 21 shrimp special. 21 golden shrimp with natural cut potatoes and fresh fruit, just $3.99 at your International House of Pancakes.
Waiting 2 days to play, you can imagine they've got to let a lot of pent-up nervous energy, and usually it tells in the shooting percentage. Both clubs out of the gates pretty comfortably, Coach.
Yeah, you bet. If they can shoot into 40%, you're doing a good job.
Especially in the state tournament first game, and we'll look for that to pick up naturally. And there have been some fine defensive blocks on the part of both sides, which has kept the percentages down a little bit. So the Tigers now of Chilton, trailing by 2, bring it up. Todd Eisner will do the damage himself. He has a half a dozen for Todd. And we're tied at 10. Whitnall's Kevin Martins now to Jay Geldner. They play catch out front. Good pressing type zone there. They want to pack it in on their big people, and it forces the turnover. Martins a little high with his pass. Each team with a turnover now. And Chilton will shoot for the lead. Good feed inside. Eisner all the way untouched. And we want to point out Dwayne Wilson is out of the lineup with 2 personal fouls. And that pretty much gives a free rein inside for Eisner, who has 8.
That could be a big, big factor because Wilson was really doing a job on the board starting the ball game.
Back for Whitnall, shooting and missing, is Jim Hackstein. Now Chilton will look to build the lead to 4. They had an early 4-point lead. 12-10, they lead it here. Todd Eisner from outside this time, no good. And Jay Geldner goes high for the rebound.
He gets around the floor. He shot 1 from each wing, 1 from the top, and 2 inside so far.
Hackstein with the basketball replaced Wilson in the lineup. This is Martins. Can't find anybody. Goes to the far corner, and Hackstein. He gets it back out front for Geldner. Martins is open this time. He hit 2 from there, but misses that one. Todd Eisner with the rebound.
Interesting, Whitnall attacking this zone here. It's a 1-3-1 zone. One way to beat it, of course, is in the corner. They had a nice baseline pick, and then he had another pick on the wing, but the guy just missed the shot, but they gave him a nice pick for a nice shot.
Eisner driving and throwing it up. That's Mark Eisner, the sophomore. No good, and I believe not him, I guess Ronk will be whistled for the foul. Trying to go to that offensive backboard. His first, and the team's first. Whitnall with 3 team fouls.
Okay, you'll see it right here. There's the shot is missed, and yes, definitely jumping in there. Getting a little over anxious.
So here come the Falcons. Their road blue, gold, and white uniforms. Gold trim. Averaging 60, giving up 51 a game on the year, and a traveling violation called on Geldner. The second mistake in the first quarter by Whitnall. We have 49 seconds to play in the opening period. Chilton over Whitnall by 2 in this Class B semifinal round game.
Well, Chilton's has a 6-1 guard at the top of that zone, and they're having a little trouble reversing the ball because of the height of the guards, and sometimes that can be quite a factor.
Ronk with it now as he and Bob Wolf will play catch. Now out front to Mark Eisner, and they'll take the final shot of the quarter. We're under a half a minute to play.
But Whitnall has got to be careful because according to the rule, if they don't come out and guard them, they can get a technical foul in this situation. Although now Eisner's ahead of the line, so there's no problem. Otherwise, they have to match him up. Otherwise, there's lack of action called, and it could be a tee.
Hackstein comes out to put some pressure on, albeit minuscule. The shot is up and no good by Eisner. The follow-up by Mark Eisner, no good. 3 seconds left, and the shot at the other end with 1 second. Now they say time has expired in the first quarter. So we've played 8 minutes. It's Chilton over Whitnall by a hoop, and one of your network sponsors at the WIAA tournament is John Deere and your local John Deere dealer.
It's that time of year again, deer season. Just as the grass is getting higher, prices are getting lower on John Deere tractors, lawnmowers, tillers, chainsaws. In fact, all kinds of lawn and garden products are on sale at the lowest prices of the year. So hurry to your participating John Deere dealer. After all, it won't look so good if deer season passes you by. Nothing runs like a deer.
Fun, exciting, different. That's how I describe my Pontiac Sunbird. Its sporty looks and exceptional performance make the Sunbird an exciting car to drive. With standard front bucket seats, distinctive instrument panel, and beautiful interior trim, the Sunbird captures the excitement of driving. Stop in and see what fun the Sunbird can be. Don't make a $500 mistake. Get the Wentworth price before you buy.
With Clintonville coach Carl Brugink, this is Gary Dauphin. We were talking about Chilton's 20-4 record, which included 10 games against Class A schools. They won 6, including a win over New Berlin Eisenhower, a team that Wauwatosa East beat by only 6 or 7 in the tournament. And of course, Wauwatosa East ranked number 2 in Class A. They will play number 1 Sheboygan North after this game tonight. And for that, we expect better than 10,000 people here at the field house, not only to see an excellent pair of Class B schools, but that Class A game as well. Good perimeter passing that time by the Tigers of Chilton, and Scott Bruckner gets the basket. Chilton with a run of 6 straight points now with a 14-10 lead, and Bruckner comes up with the takeaway.
They're having a little trouble penetrating that zone right now. They've got Wilson back in there, but they're having trouble getting inside that zone.
Now they don't want to let this one get out of hand early, does Kent Kropa. Shot out front is no good by Ronk, but Woelfel grabs the long bounce rebound. These rims have been touchy all week for these youngsters, and they've had some trouble mastering them. I think the shooting percentages have been down overall because of the unfamiliarity. Turnover by the Tigers of Chilton, their second. And a minute gone in the second quarter. Whitnall looks to cut the lead to 2. Inside to Dwayne Wilson. His shot is no good. Eisner got a hand in his face and bothered him there. And Bruckner with yet another defensive board for the Tigers.
Scott Bruckner, kind of an unsung hero on that Chilton team. He had a super semifinal game when they won their first game against Winnicott in the sectionals first game.
Here he is on the baseline, and you talk about altering a shot. Wilson did just that. And Bruckner's shot went straight up and came back down. We got a foul called. And it's going to be on Todd Eisner, his first, and the team's second. 6.5 to play in the first half. Chilton 14 and Whitnall 10.
It's interesting now, they have slowed the pace down. Chilton wants to play a more slow, deliberate game. Whitnall would like to run a little more. We'll see who gets their way.
Martins with a lob feed to the corner, and scoring is Jimmy Hackstein. They say he's a clutch shooter. His last second win in the sectional championship allowed Whitnall to beat Mayville 42-40 and advance to the state tournament. Shot at the other end doesn't draw anything by Woelfel, and back comes Whitnall. This is Ken Wakoyak. And Kevin Martins. He's the quarterback of this team. Hackstein, Martins, Wakoyak. Nice feed inside by the shot by Hackstein is no good. Wilson on the follow, and he is hacked by Bruckner.
Interesting interesting bit of offense now by Whitnall. They're in a double low post. They're setting the two big men on the block, and of course Chilton likes to play out of that matchup 1-3-1, and that's probably the hardest thing to match against with a 1-3-1 zone. So be interested to see what happens. Plus, they're getting some baseline picks on that Wagger, who has to go corner to corner. So right now, kind of a battle of wits here to see who's going to prevail.
Wilson has 1 basket and 2 points, and he's shooting his first free throw. 5:40 to play in the second period. There's a good look at the sophomore. 6'6", 215, and he's 15 years old. Tell you, I don't know what they feed him up there at Hales Corners in Greenfield, but a lot of vegetables, I'm sure.
I'd like to can a little of it and bring it back home, I'll tell you that.
What a physical specimen he is going to be, let alone is. Dwayne gets the second one down, and now Whitnall has closed to within 1, 14 and 13. Chilton, methodical, working against that press and doing it very well. Ronk, the 6'1" senior, he's seen more than one press in his day, I'm sure, and he's handling it very well. Todd Eisner on the low post, double team, and has one jammed right in his face by Wilson, but they have the presence of mind to get it back and then turn it over on the lane violation.
That was a gutsy block by Wilson with 2 fouls, but he made a good block. He had right on top of the ball, but if he'd have got, if he'd have got bad call or whatever, he could have been in trouble.
That one was in your face, slammed the window shut. He really closed the door on that one. Nice steal at the other end by Wolfel, and he's going to bring it down and then hold up. Waits for his teammates to catch up, and they'll set up and go to work offensively. 3 minutes gone, second quarter, still Chilton by 1 over Whitnall. The winner to face Prairie du Chien, and did they look impressive this afternoon? 82-60 over previously undefeated Phillips. Here's a pretty move by Ronk in the lane. The shot doesn't go. The follow does, though, by Todd Eisner.
For any young kids watching, Todd Eisner, the right thing. You get a rebound in there as a big man. Don't bring it down. Keep it right up high in the air like he didn't put it right there.
Don't waste any time when you're in the paint.
You bet.
4.5 to play in the quarter. That's 10 for Todd Eisner, who is Creighton bound. Jump shot rims, comes out, follow no good, and the rebound to the Tigers. Wakowiak had the first shot at it, and then Hackstein couldn't get it to go. Oh, Chilton with a 3-point lead in the ball now. Sophomore Mark Eisner, short. Todd Eisner can't out-wrestle Wilson for it. Boy, that Wilson is really strong. Here's Martins all the way back for the blue and gold of Whitnall. Wilson with the turnaround.
He is impressive. He is very impressive. Great defensive play on the other, and then it comes back here and makes a nice move for a bucket.
He's 6'6", but with his arms, he's 6'9", 6'10". That's the way he plays. Good job by Chilton of breaking that press, and Todd Eisner takes things into his own hands, literally. But he can't get it to go in 2 tries, and Dwayne Wilson outlet feeds it. Quickly comes Whitnall. They can take the lead with a basket here. Kevin Martin's with it. 3:20 to play in the period. Chilton 16 and Whitnall 15. And they tried to lob it into Wilson, who had 3 people triangling him.
I'm surprised at this time now that Chilton wouldn't try to get it into Eisner low and try to get that 3rd foul on Wilson if they can before the half. Wilson's a little tired right now, and have him work on him one-on-one if he can.
Baseline jumper by Bruckner is no good, but Bob Wolfel on the weak side at 5'11" gets the rebound, and he's fouled. And we'll have more on that when we come back. Right now, there's a timeout on the floor. 2:56 remaining in the first half. One of your network sponsors tonight is your Cooperative and Land O'Lakes.
Your top-producing cows won't hit their potential on cheap soybean meal. They need Land O'Lakes Peak Plus 37 for high acceptance, balanced minerals, and escape protein top producers demand. Peak Plus. It's one more way to avoid the high cost of cheap soybean meal. So remember,
Your cooperative and Land O'Lakes.
Hi, I'm Ron Harrington. I'm here at our factory in Greenbush, Wisconsin. Beauty and quality is always foremost in our work. Interlying fibers of fiberglass are bonded by resin to make sure that beauty lasts and provides strength. Surely you won't punish your cap like this, but you should know it can take it. Call our toll-free number, 1-800-852-5833 or shop our Madison location or Greenbush factory. Why pay high retail when you can buy factory direct?
Whitnall with an impressive year, 19-4. They were second in the Parkland Conference. And we were talking about the leading scorers for Chilton before, Todd Eisner and Mark Eisner and Scott Bruckner. Well, we'll mention the leading scorers for Whitnall. They have 4 guys averaging between 9 and 13 points a game. You talk about balance. Turnovers in favor of Chilton, 3 less. And the shot up and in by Eisner, Todd Eisner. He's got a dozen now.
Well, like I say, they're smart if they take it inside now because they've got Wilson with 2 fouls late in the first half. He certainly is going to want to pick up his third, so they'll probably keep trying to go inside with it.
Chilton by 3. Wilson with the offensive rebound, has it knocked away, but right to his teammate, Jim Hackstein, who draws Whitnall to within 1 again. 4 points for Hackstein. And it's Chilton by the slimmest of margins. 2:20 to play in the second period. Todd Johnson will be along at halftime with interviews and comments, as he has been throughout the tournament. The Tigers of Chilton, very deliberate, looking over that 2-3 zone. And the sophomore, Eisner, Mark Eisner, hits again. He's got 6. 3 field goals, all from long range.
Well, I tell you, we've got quite a game in our hands. These 2 teams look very well coached, very, very disciplined.
And very evenly matched. Both are scoring in the low 60s offensively and giving up in the low 50s defensively. Turnaround shot is no good by Brett Matschke. The Eisners, by the way, have 18 of the 20 Chilton points. Todd Eisner loses the handle on it, and they do a good job of saving the over and back, but they throw it right to Hackstein. And he converts for Whitnall, and it's a 2019 ball game. 6 points now for Hackstein. Good job, a good effort by Ronk.
Like you say, great hustle, but it turned out.
But it turned into a basket for the other team.
He did a great job of leaping and avoiding the over and back.
But his coach won't fault him for that.
Oh, heavens!
It was a tremendous effort.
Heavens, yes.
Mark Eisner again. He misses from there. He's been successful for there more times than not from that area. And high for the rebound is Jay Geldner at 6'3". So again, Whitnall in this seesaw battle can shoot to take the lead right here, and we're under a minute to play in the first half. WIAA state tournament play. Turnaround is no good by Brett Matschke. And Chilton gets the ball back.
I tell you, I'm watching Wilson. He's tired right now. In fact, he looked over to the bench almost as if to say, take me out, coach. But now Chilton's going to hold for the last shot and a half here with 28 seconds.
Well, that'll please Wilson. He can get a breather in there and take a blow. 20 seconds
I really
to play.
think he had a sub up here, which is a smart coaching move. He was going to take Wilson out for the last 30 seconds. You hate to have a kid. Yeah, there's the technical I was talking about earlier. The little hash marks on the floor. You get a 5-minute warning, and then you've got 5 seconds to come out and match up. If you don't match up, it's a technical foul.
Well, Ken Kropa wants an explanation, and the official, he did not hesitate. Ken Wakowiak now will come into the lineup, and Wilson will sit down so they don't get that 3rd foul on him. But more importantly is that Chilton will go to the foul line, and Todd Eisner will do the shooting.
Just in case the fans are wondering, the onus is on the team that's behind. Or if it's tied, then the team that is also on defense has to come out beyond the hash marks. If the team is behind and they stall, then they have to take it ahead of those hash marks within 10 seconds, or they get the technical. So it's a good rule to keep the game moving a little bit. So you don't have some team stand out here for the last 6 minutes and just hold it.
That's true, but what about inside a minute, Coach, when it's obvious they're just trying to...
Yeah, no, it's still got to have...
You like the rule, then, is what you're saying.
Oh, yeah. It just has to be token. It isn't usually, gotten to a technical in this situation, but they just got a little confused out there, I think.
Shot at the horn. In fact, 2 shots at the horn. First one by Todd Eisner is no good. The follow by Mark Eisner was no good. And we played 16 minutes of basketball in this Class B semifinal round game. Prairie du Chien waiting for the winner. Chilton by 1 at halftime. And one of your network sponsors, the Rural Companies, with more than 50 offices in Wisconsin to serve you.
It's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game, someone once said. That's why the Rural Companies sponsor the WIAA Sportsmanship Award. Last year, John Roberts of the WIAA and Steve Law from Rural presented the award to Turtle Lake for the girls' tournament and Eau Claire North for the boys' competition. Each school also received a flag flown over our nation's capital and a video recorder. These schools best epitomize the spirit of fair play. At the rural companies, you'll find us involved in more than just insurance. All over Wisconsin.
Quackgrass, it can really hurt you. That tough weed will cost you yield. How much yield? Up to half. There's only one way to knock out quackgrass, roots and all. Roundup herbicide. Why use anything less? Compare Roundup at 1 quart per acre with the loss of half your yield. Remember, quackgrass can hurt you, but you can knock it out with Roundup.
Ask your dealer now about Roundup's new lower price.
You've been listening to Carl Brunking through the first half. He's a color commentary, and right now we have a 20-19 Chilton lead. And what do you think so far? Seems like two evenly matched ball clubs.
Two very, not only evenly matched, but very good ball clubs. I'm impressed with both of them. Both playing pretty good ball. They've sat around since, they've been down here since Wednesday morning, and they're a little bit tight right now, but I think they're both well-disciplined, good ball teams.
Seems like the game might come down to the inside play of Eisner against Wilson.
Absolutely, and I think Chilton somewhat was trying to go inside. Wilson got those 2 early fouls, and Chilton was trying to get it into Eisner a few times, trying to drive on Wilson and try to pick up that third, but they weren't able to pull that third foul on him. That could have been a very key play had they been able to get that across.
Coach Jim Eisner has 2 sons on this ball club, and a lot of opponents say it's always tough to beat a team with the coach's sons on it. Do you agree?
Oh, I don't know. I guess so. One thing I think coaches' sons, sometimes they get so much of it at home that they kind of understand the game. But I don't know if it's any harder to beat them. I just know it's a tremendous thrill having your own son play for you. And then they have 2. I guess it makes it double.
What do you expect in the second half now?
Well, as Whitehall said before the game, Whitnall, they're going to try to get into a little bit of a running game. I think they're going to still keep trying to push the ball up court. Chilton is not real deep. They've got 5 good ball players. They don't have a lot of bench by their own admission. So I think Whitnall's going to try to run. I think Chilton is going to just keep trying to play it pretty methodical. And I still think that they're going to try to get the ball inside. Wilson, as good as he is still only a sophomore, gets a little excited once in a while, and they may still try to draw a couple early fouls on him.
You're right about Wilson. He's going to be a heck of a player by the time he's a senior, but you can tell right now he does need a little more maturity.
Oh, yeah, boy, I tell you, he's got it.
You would take him any day, right?
Oh, man, I don't think there's a coach here that wouldn't take him.
Okay, we'll be looking forward to your comments in the second half. You've been doing all right so far.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, we're going to take a break now. One of your network sponsors is the Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin.
Wisconsin on your pizza, on your pasta too. Wisconsin, Wisconsin, the cheese more people choose.
More Americans prefer the Italian cheeses of Wisconsin than all the cheeses of Italy. Try some today. They're made with the famous milk of the dairy state.
Wisconsin, Wisconsin, the cheese more people choose.
This is a beautiful sofa and love seat group with nothing down. It's only $45 a month at American. This sofa is a queen-size sleeper, too. And that's not all. This love seat has 2 built-in incliners, and that's not all. Because for only $45 a month, the price includes this matching recliner. You get the sofa sleeper, the incliner love seat, and the recliner all for $45 a month. And that's not all. I'll include 3 oak parquet tables. You get all 6 pieces for only $45 a month at American.
Back at the field house here at UW-Madison, I'm Gary Dauphin along with Clintonville coach Carl Brugink, and it almost sounds like a law firm, Eisner and Eisner, with 18 of the 20 Chilton points here at halftime. Todd, the superstar, Creighton Bound has a dozen, 6 for brother Mark, the sophomore, and a basket for Bruckner. As we take a look at the first half individual statistics, nobody in foul trouble, which is good because it's been a well-played ball game. It really has. Todd Eisner, who can take the ball low and bring it out high, played very well as we knew he would. On the other side of the ledger for Whitnall, their big Superman in the middle, he wears an S on his chest. Wilson, he's got 5 points, but 2 quick fouls, and that certainly impeded his play in that first half. Hackstein has come through in the clutch. He's got a half a dozen. Wilson with 5, Martins with 4, Matchke with a basket, as well as Geldner. And we're going to be back to take a look at the team statistics and comment more on this first half in just a minute. But right now, one of your network sponsors, your Cooperative and Land O'Lakes.
If your big tonnage alfalfa isn't pulling its weight in high protein, plant Land O'Lakes Blazer. Blazer delivers top yields plus high protein levels, like the winning haylage entry in the Forage Super Bowl. Land O'Lakes Blazer, the big tonnage alfalfa that helps you milk your cows for all they're worth. So remember,
Your cooperative and Land O'Lakes.
Household projects are made easy with quality building supplies and products from Fish Building Supply, like Dow Styrofoam Insulation. Chosen the #1 insulation in the country, Dow True Blue Styrofoam will help keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer. Year-round, Dow Styrofoam is at work to help make your home more comfortable while saving you valuable energy dollars. Now get a 4x8-foot sheet, sale priced at just $6.97.
Building Supply.
Gear up for golf this season by shopping AAA Sports. See the selection of brand-name golf equipment at discount prices. Choose sets by McGregor, Titleist, Dunlop, Wilson, or Spalding. Selection and price have never been better. Starter sets are $69.95, and Etonic golf shoes are $39.95. AJ Golf bags and carts are available at dealer cost. Stop in today. A knowledgeable sales staff will be there to help you with all your golfing needs. AAA Sports, Madison, Janesville, and La Crosse.
Welcome back to the Fieldhouse at UW-Madison, where this tournament crescendos into the championship round tomorrow, and we should have 3 great games. Of course, the Class C final is already set tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock, and that should be an outstanding basketball game. Coach Flambeau, undefeated coming in today, upset by Whitehall. They take on Oostburg, so that should be a good game.
I thought Oostburg looked super today. They've got a super ball club over there.
We checked the
Dutchmen are really tough.
First half statistics team-wise, and not a whole lot of difference there, really. The rebounds, they've really been crashing the offensive board at both ends, and you really can't gauge anything out of there, Carl, and I guess that's why we have a one-point game.
Well, absolutely. You know, we've been talking a lot about Todd Eisner and about Dwayne Wilson, but let's face it, they both have 5 good players. It's just that those two have stuck out a little bit. But I got a shot chart in front of me over here, and they both have pretty good distribution of shots, and they're taking pretty high percentage of shots. Like I said, both teams not shooting that well. 36% for Whitehall and 31% for Chilton. So I think their shooting's going to pick up a little bit this half. Like I say, they've sat around a long time, but they got the jitters out now. I think it's going to be an outstanding second half. We've got 2 fine ball clubs.
You know, it's amazing, and we've been watching these teams. 2 excellent ball clubs for Class B. Neither won their conference, which is just incredible to me. Chilton was 3rd in the Eastern Wisconsin Conference, won by Plymouth High School, and Whitnall was 2nd in the Parkland Conference. But again, that points out the Class A competition that they played.
Well, that's right. I think, you know, of course, I'm really partial to that, but we have the same situation in our league, and a lot of schools have, where you don't get a lot of credit during the year because you play in a league where you're one of the smaller schools. But then when you get tournament, it kind of evens out, and then you have an advantage.
Plenty of basketball yet to come, not only in this game, but that Class A game. Hey, it's drawing minor interest, #1 versus #2. But right now, one of your network sponsors is John Deere and your local John Deere dealer.
I'll see your 5 and raise you 5 more. I think you're bluffing, Ed. Ah! Don't move a paw. Every time I get a good hand, the lights go.
When the odds are against you, a John Deere generator is one sure bet.
You didn't look at my cards, did you, Ed? I know you can see in the dark. I'll see your 5 and bump you 5 more, Ed.
Join Drexel's annual spring sale. Buy carpet and the padding is free.
Wow, free 3/8 carpet pad.
You betcha, Jer, whether you buy a name brand like Lee's or an inexpensive remnant.
At Drexel, the padding is free with any jute-back carpet.
Spring savings on wallpaper and window treatments, too.
Buy 3 rolls of selected wallpaper and the 4th is free.
Save up to 50% on M&B window blinds.
Even paneling is spring sale price from $3.99.
Drexel's annual spring sale.
With free carpet pads.
Drexel, direct from the factory to you.
second half of basketball coming up in this Class B semifinal. You're looking at Dennis Coos from West Allis, Wisconsin, and like even the long-running great plays on Broadway, everything must come to a close, and this is Dennis' final game. And, you know, the officials are doing a great job, Coach, when you don't notice them, and we haven't noticed the guys tonight, have we?
They've done a fantastic job all day. You bet they have.
It's hard to find good officials, and we're losing one tonight, so good luck to Dennis Coos and whatever he does in his semi-retirement from whistleblowing. We're underway in the second half, Whitnall and Chilton, and we have a one-point ball game to the favor of the white jersey Chilton Tigers.
If I could just interrupt one thing here, you talk about officials. I was over at the sectional over in Green Bay last week, and you know, coaches like to go to those, but you should see the number of officials that follow these games. They're in it for the love of the game. Where else would you get that little bit of money and take all that abuse unless you love the game?
That's a good point. Dwayne Wilson scores to lead off the second half, and Whitnall has the lead by one, but that man Eisner, Todd Eisner, comes right back for Chilton, and the Tigers have the lead. This is the kind of game we've anticipated. 14 points for Eisner, Todd Eisner, and it's Chilton by one. Here's Dwayne Wilson inside.
Looks like Chilton has matched up their zone a little bit more now. It looks more like a 2-3 to match up Whitnall's 2-3 offense.
The young sophomore has 9. Here's the near steal and a foul called on Brett Matchke, and let's hope he's all right because he really crashed to the hardwood.
There's a good example. The offensive man didn't quite meet the pass enough and almost had it intercepted. You have to meet that pass. Let's take a look at it.
You got to come to that ball in that situation.
You bet. You see, he didn't quite come, but he did get caught on the foul. Good call.
Scott Bruckner was the intended receiver. Whitnall by one. Chilton has the basketball. We'll set the lineups for you here. That's Bruckner with it right now, Scott Bruckner. And this is Mark Eisner. Jim Ronk inside Todd Eisner, put it on the floor, had it poked away, but right to Bob Wolfel. Mark Eisner also in there. Ronk, here's another near steal by Martins. Todd Eisner gets the ball back and bullets a pass to the baseline as knocked out of bounds by Whitnall, and it stays in the grasp of the Tigers of Chilton.
Boy, he fired that one in there.
Yeah, almost too hard, Coach.
Yes,
that was point-blank range there. But they get a break and get the basketball back. I say a break because every possession in this game is golden.
Boy, I'll say, and it's going to get more golden as the game goes along.
You have 2 even ball clubs. You can usually tell after the first 8 minutes, and they're even.
Oh, what a move. Oh, he missed the shot.
Didn't put enough on it, but did that time, and he got fouled.
I've always said anybody can make the first effort, but the blue chipper makes the second effort. There was the blue chip move. Missed the shot. Could be disappointed. Instead of hanging his head, he goes right back, gets the rebound, and sticks it in and gets himself a potential 3-point play.
16 points now for Todd Eisner. Jay Geldner gets the foul, his first, and the team's second here in the second half.
Coming right here. Got the rebound, put it up, missed it. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the second effort right there already.
He wanted it.
You bet.
And it turned into a 3-point play, and a big one. Chilton now with a 2-point lead at 25-23. Todd Eisner. Here's Dwayne Wilson at the other end. Well, it's me against few now. Just Wilson against Eisner. Wilson with 11.
Got some nice moves. You would never believe that he was a sophomore the way he looks out there.
15 years old.
Nice pass. Oh!
That was a good pass. They broke the press well. And Todd Eisner battling for it, but out-battling was Brett Matchke. To Martin's back. And a little scoop.
Double clutch.
Throws her up there. He was a little intimidated, and we got a break at the other end, but the pass is intercepted by Geldner of Whitnall on the turnover charge to Chilton. Martins looks over that, almost looks like a 1-2-2 or a 1-3-1 zone. Baseline jump shooting, and missing is Wakowiak. And Jimmy Ronk comes out of there with it, and Dwayne Wilson hits the turf hard. So it's 5-on-4 now. Eisner, Mark Eisner hits the jump shot for Chilton, and now a 2-point Chilton lead at 27-25. He's got 8. Martins and Geldner are out front. Wakowiak, Wilson, and Matchke underneath. Shot goes up, no good. The rebound, we got a foul over the back on Matchke. 4:50 to play third quarter. And for Brett, personal foul number 2. We got a timeout on the floor as we look at the replay first. You'll see Matchkey come over the back.
Yep, he got there just a little bit late. He committed himself, had just a piece of the ball, and it went away, and he was done.
Let's take a breather. One of your network sponsors, the Rural Companies, insuring Wisconsin people in all walks of life.
You'll find Rural's policy owners all over Wisconsin.
Juneau.
Cranesville.
Manitowoc.
Chilton.
Ashwaubenon. Swamico. Sparta. Eau Claire. Pulaski. Elkhart. Cornell.
Dodgeville.
So for protection, look to the Rural Companies.
Top dairymen across the country are discovering the extra value of DK 135 alfalfa.
Hello, my name is Brad Grundall, Allendale, Wisconsin. We've been planting DK 135 alfalfa for the past 2 years. We like it for its fine stems, leafiness, and top yields. Most of all, its verticillium wilt resistance. In today's economy, you need an alfalfa that's cost effective. DK 135 does that.
See your dealer for DK 135 alfalfa.
Back at the field house with Coach Carl Brugink of Clintonville. This is Gary Doffin. We check out the field goal percentages. Again, regardless of what they're shooting, they're even, Coach.
That's right, and that makes it relevant.
Certainly does. 25, 27, 25, Chilton. And they have the basketball in a 2-point lead. 4:46 to play, third quarter. Pretty good timeout right there.
Oh, excellent, excellent timeout. He was losing the momentum a little bit, and he got him back, I'm sure.
Now, you can be down 2 and be in the game, but you can be also down 2 and mentally losing it. And that's what happened. Whitnall with a good timeout there.
Well, he realized you don't want to let him get too far away.
Todd Eisner with a strong move to the basket, but too strong. A little too much mustard on the shot, and Whitnall comes back shooting to tie. Kevin Martins goes baseline with it, and the attempt no good by Matchkey. The foul is no good by Hackstein, but he's fouled by Eisner. That's Todd Eisner, his second. Team's first here in the half. No, Jimmy Hackstein checks to the line. 4 of the 5 starters for Whitnall, averaging between 9 and 13. And they say this is their clutch shooter when it comes down to money time. This is the young man who hit the basket against Mayville, a tough tournament-tested team, to win the sectional, 42-40.
Yeah, and he's not even a starter.
No. 7 points on the evening. Wilson almost had the rebound. Now we got a reaching in foul on Kevin Martins. His first.
Foul is on number 33, Kevin Martins.
It's a 1-point game, an odd even affair again with Chilton owning the basketball and that lead.
Chilton's shown a lot of good patience against this full-court press so far.
Mark Eisner with good patience, as you mentioned. Gets it across now. This is Jim Morong. Woeful. And a bad pass. Picked off by Matchkey. Good anticipation by Matchkey there.
Excellent job of defense. Both teams really playing up-tempo defense right now.
That comes from good scouting.
Yeah.
Whitnall can get the lead again. Near steal by Bob Woeful. He almost nullified his own turnover at the other end.
Whitnall's doing a good job of reversing the ball and then coming back with that cross-court pass to the opposite corner. And that's probably the best way to attack a 1-3-1. Getting that ball to the corners.
Jump shot from the left side finds the mark, Jim Hackstein. And he's quietly inched up to 9 points off the bench. Long down-court pass for Chilton to Scott Bruckner, and they set it up. This is Jim Morong for Mark Eisner to Todd. Double team, gets the shot away, no good, but Bruckner is there at 6'5". Nice to have a guy 6'5" on the weak side come in and clean up.
Oh, I tell you, he had 26 points in the sectional opener for Chilton. He's a good ball player.
They've contained him pretty good tonight. He's got 4, but he averages 16, and you got to look for him also in the later stages of this contest when it gets down to white knuckle time. Jump shot from the left side is no good by Geldner. The rebound to Whitnall, and a strong move to the basket by, you guessed it, Jim Hackstein. And all of a sudden, he's got 11. It's been Hackstein here in the latter stages of the third quarter. The score, Whitnall 30, Chilton 29, and 2.5 to play in the period. B semifinal round. The winner gets Prairie du Chien. And I'll guarantee us, after seeing Prairie this afternoon and these two teams, whoever wins this one, what a game we got in Class B tomorrow afternoon, Carl.
Oh, yeah, I'll say. We're going to have some super games tomorrow.
Todd Eisner with a jump shot. 17-19 for Eisner. Of course, the Class C title game will be between Oostburg and Whitehall. We'll have that one for you at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And then the Class B golden game of the tournament, Prairie du Chien against the winner here. 31-30 Chilton with 1:50 to play in the third quarter. Martins with a shot, no good. Hackstein again. Won't go down for him. And Todd Eisner with a rebound, but Hackstein written his name on that McGregor.
Yeah, that's right. Nice second effort again by Todd Eisner on that rebound.
11 points each for Wilson and Hackstein to lead Whitnall. 19 for Todd Eisner and 8 for brother Mark. Here's Bruckner with a jump shot, and he's hit 2 in a row. He's averaging 16. He's starting to come on now, and Chilton with a big 3-point lead, because it's been 1 point for most of the evening.
You know, that might sound like a trite statement, but it's so true. A big 3-point lead is right, because this team, there hasn't been much more than 3 points most of the ball game.
Muscle move by Matchke. The shot won't go, and Todd Eisner tattoos that basketball off the defensive backboard. And they look to go up by almost an unthinkable 5 points. Nice pass cross court. Mark Eisner to Rock, but he elects not to shoot. Now let's see what they do with 48 seconds left in the third quarter. Everybody holding up the one finger. Even I can figure that one out. 40 seconds. You notice it didn't take Whitnall very long to come out defensively.
Well, you do get a warning each half. So I think what happened, they had gotten a warning earlier. So next time you don't get a warning, you only have 5 seconds. Now they get the warning, and then they get another 5 after the warning. But see, they haven't had the warning yet, so they're okay.
Now it's an interesting rule, particularly when you're inside a minute.
Well, like you say, really, that would make it maybe a good adjustment, because inside a minute doesn't make too much difference. But
now that's a nice shot by Eisner. The money man with 6 seconds to play in the period. Now Whitnall can get a shot off, and a good one. Martin's all the way down and does not draw the foul. A good steal by Woelfel, and some momentum building activity for Chilton as the third quarter comes to an end. They lead it by 5, and that has been their biggest lead of the game. 8 minutes to play. Stay with us. One of your network sponsors, the Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin.
Milk's got the kick that gives you more. Milk kick. More nutrition in every pour. Milk kick. I got the kick, and milk is it. With calcium and vitamins that you're so quick. Kick. So get on a health kick, let it pour. America's favorite health kick. Yeah, get on a health kick. Milk's got more. Have more milk, 'cause milk's got more.
Have fun in the sun with a motorcycle from Honda City. For a limited time, you can save as much as $1,000 on non-current Honda motorcycles. There are 11 models to choose from and hundreds of bikes in stock. All are on sale during the Fun in the Sun rebate program from Honda City, one of the world's largest Honda dealers.
Young America. Volume, power, largest. Discover the power of volume. Young America.
Well, we're heading for the fourth quarter. Excellent basketball game. We're going to take a look at something you don't get a chance to see. Check out the shoelaces of Todd Eisner. Little blue, little gold. Wonder if...
must have had a good game wearing one of each color, and it wouldn't change them.
We've been talking all night about how even this game has been. You saw that rebounding graphic, 26-25 in the rebounding category.
And you also have to give Chilton credit. At the end of the quarter, what did they do? They made sure they had it in Eisner's hands.
Absolutely. The money man. So Chilton now with the ball in a 5-point lead as we begin the fourth quarter, and we've got one substitution in there that I see. Harvey Hepner.
Jeff Hiemauer.
I'm sorry, Jeff Hiemauer is in there, and he walked with it.
How many times does that happen? A guy comes in the ball game fresh, cold, and he makes a turnover.
6 turnovers. They have really been irrelevant. 7 turnovers now. Harvey Hepner also in for Chilton. So it's the first time we've seen Harvey Hepner, a 6'2 senior, and Hiemauer, a 5'11 senior. A couple of guys getting well-deserved breaks. Woelfel is one of them. and Scott Bruckner the other. Bruckner hit a couple of big baskets to end the third quarter. Let's see if Whitnall can come right back now, down by 5. They're still very patient on offense. Jump shot is good from the left side, and that's Jim Hackstein. Well, I'll tell you, this guy is making a name for himself in the second half. 13 points for Jim. We said at the top of the show he's been their clutch shooter. And the Tigers go back on the attack. Coach.
Excellent patience by that time by Whitnall, as they needed a bucket, they got it.
Both teams have displayed outstanding offensive patience tonight. There's a left side jumper, good by Mark Eisner, the sophomore at 6'1". Led his conference in assists, but he's been a force offensively more than that tonight with his shooting touch. He's got 10. Chilton by 5 again. 37-32. A minute and a half gone in the fourth period. Kevin Martins tried to lob it in for Wilson, and it's picked off by Harvey Hefner. So the reserve makes a big play defensively, particularly if they convert at the other end. Ronk with it. Jump shot, Hiemauer. So one reserve makes the steal, the other puts it in at the other end. Timeout on the floor, called by Whitnall. It's a 7-point Chilton lead, and Kent Kropa does not want this thing to get any further away from it. We'll be back. One of your network sponsors, your cooperative in Land O'Lakes.
Cheap soybean meal can have a high price, less milk. So consider Land O'Lakes Flomax 40. Balanced minerals, high acceptance, and 40% protein at our lowest cost per unit. With Flomax 40, you can avoid the high cost of cheap soybean meal. So start with
Your cooperative and Land O'Lakes.
This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Forbes Maher is having a warehouse sale.
Oh, too bad. I'm going to be busy.
You sure will be. Selling new and used pianos and organs at great savings.
No, no, no.
And portable keyboards, regularly $2.99, now just $1.99. That'll keep you hopping.
There is nothing in my job description that says work warehouse sales.
Is there anything that says permanently employed?
But those warehouse sales can be a lot of fun.
Forbes Maher's warehouse sale, now through Sunday. A lot of savings, a lot of fun. Odana Road Store only.
Whitnall has only 8 turnovers, but that last one was a big one, Coach.
It certainly was. It certainly was. But what a well-played ball game. 8 by one and 6 by the other. I think it's, you know, great ball game. Great ball game.
Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast tonight is prohibited without the express written permission of the WIAA, which also has the approval of the announcers used on this network. Whitnall now needs a basket. Down by 7, a lot of time, 5:58 to play, but it's been a 1, 2, 3-point game most of the night. And neither one of these teams wants to play catch-up against the other because they're so even. Dwayne Wilson, one of the few times he's touched the ball in the second half. Very effective 1-3-1 zone by the Tigers of Chilton.
Key possession right here. Whitnall's got to come away with a bucket right here. Under 6 minutes now.
Kevin Martins may be an Ivy Leaguer next year. He's got a head in his shoulders, obviously. He's directed traffic out top. Hackstein now, who's been hot, is shy with that one, but right there for the rebound is Metschke, and he puts it up and in. 6'4" senior with a clutch hoop. He's got only 4, but that was a big one, and it's a 5-point game. Chilton's favor, they have the ball. Here's Todd Eisner with it. Now Ronk, Mark Eisner. Baseline and shooting is Bruckner. Eisner, Todd with the follow-up. 23 points. 23 points for Todd. Yeah, he just slashed right through 2 defenders and got that ball.
He started on the varsity for 4 years, and you can see it.
Hackstein now, double team. They know he's been hot. Here's a kick on Ronk. 7-point Chilton lead, and checking back into the Whitnall lineup is Jay Geldner. And he'll replace Ken Wakoyak.
Biggest lead of the night, although 7 points is nothing, you know, in this day and age, the way the kids could put it in the hoop. But another important possession for Whitnall.
4.5 minutes to play. And we got a traveling violation called on Jim Hackstein. That's 9 turnovers on Whitnall. You know, 6 on Chilton. You look at these styles, Coach, and then you think of Prairie du Chien this afternoon. Boy, is that going to be a tug of war tomorrow, whoever wins this one against the Blackhawks.
Right, the way the Blackhawks run, it's going to be interesting to see if, you know, although Whitnall likes to run, so I'm sure Chilton is controlling the tempo right here.
Well, the Blackhawks were on the warpath this afternoon, 82-60. They just simply destroyed previously undefeated Phillips. Phillips, a fine team, 24-0 coming in. Now we got a lane violation. Somebody pitched a 10 in there. Might have been Mark Eisner. He ended up with the ball.
Well, sometimes you think you're out of the lane, you got your heels in, and you get caught.
4 minutes to play. Whitnall with the ball, down by 7. Somebody told me there's a Class A game coming up after this one. Is that true?
That's right, but right now I think not too many people are thinking of this. Is going to be a great ending, I'm sure.
Number 1, Sheboygan North against number 2, Wauwatosa East.
Could be a great game.
And then some. Wilson is grabbed in the lane by Mark Eisner. Tosa is undefeated on the year. Sheboygan has lost but 1 time. Free throws have really been inconsequential tonight. 1 of 3 for Chilton, 2 of 4 for Whitnall.
Here you see it again, and he reached across. You can't see. Actually, he had a better angle at the table than the camera did on that one, but he definitely got him on the arm.
Wilson 1 for 2 at the foul line. He rattles that one home. Dwayne's first point of the second half. He has 12. And these are huge free throws in terms of importance. In and out, back in. 41-36 Chilton. 3.5 to play. And like so many games in this tournament this year, coming right down to the wire. Ronk with it for the Tigers. Boy, they like to keep the ball in his hand out top. He really runs the show. Eisner to Eisner. No basket, but we have a foul on Matchkey with the bump inside. And for Brett, his third.
I'm not sure, but I think Eisner shoots 82% free throws for the year.
Well, we watched the replay. What's Todd done tonight? He is 1 for 2. Like they say, nobody's been to the foul line a whole lot. Todd comes out of that crouch and zeroes in.
Gets a lot of arch on that ball. He must be a physics or a geometry major playing the angles here. But that rim's pretty big when you can come up from that high.
He's going into that crouch. He's thinking latitude and longitude.
Right.
24 points. And he misses 2 out of 4 from the foul line. 6-point Chilton lead. And we're at 3:08 remaining in the ball game. Whitnall now has got to go to work defensively and offensively. And they can't take as much time as they have been this evening. Hackstein with a shot that's short. Big miss there. Chilton with a ball and a 6-point lead. We're under 3 minutes now. And Prairie du Chien, ranked 5th in the state, awaits the winner. Now they're going into their delay game as Todd Eisner plays catch with Jim Ronk out front. Their 3-man weave. This is woeful. Eisner.
Whitnall did a nice job of switching men. They had Wilson on Eisner, and they switched and put another man on him because they know he goes outside. Good coaching strategy.
Todd Eisner, who will play ball for Creighton beginning next year. Now here, a nice steal by Hackstein. He took it away from Todd Eisner all the way himself. Had it knocked away by Todd Eisner off his leg out of bounds. Big defensive play. 2:09 remaining in the game. Whitnall wants timeout. One of your network sponsors is John Deere and your local John Deere dealer.
Jacques Bourret, logger extraordinaire.
Bonjour, monsieur.
I see you're using a John Deere chainsaw.
Oh oui, bien sûr. Elle possède une puissance étonnante. Elle est légère et elle coupe même les plus gros arbres à la planche. Boum! Il tombe instantanément.
How about the features?
Fantastique. Ignition électronique, elle fonctionne en souplesse et regarde, La poignée est protégée. C'est une magnifique tronçonneuse. Oh, non, non, non. Magnifique tronçonneuse.
What makes Diet Slice taste so good?
Turnovers really not a major factor for the first 3 quarters of this game, but they're beginning to loom larger and larger with that dark cloud hanging over Whitnall, because that last turnover was a big one, but more a great defensive play by Eisner, and the field goal percentage still relatively even. Neither team shooting great basketball, but that's a credit to the defense. 42-36 Chilton. 2:09 to play, and they have the basketball, do the Tigers. Now, what do you do, Coach? You're going to have to start fouling here.
Right, and of course, Chilton's going to keep it in Eisner's hand because he's such a good free throw shooter. Right now, you can got to be choosy. The 2 minutes who you're going to foul. Once you get down below a minute, you got to foul anybody that's got the ball.
Mark Eisner with it. I think I'd take my chances starting now. I mean, you're down 6, a minute 45 to play.
You're going to have to.
There's no tomorrow. Mark Eisner, nice bounce feed to Bruckner. The shot is blocked, but a foul is also called on Mechke. Now you give him 2 instead of the 1-and-1.
Right, and they took about 30 seconds off the clock.
Look at it again as Mechke picks up his 4th personal.
Well, you know, that's the key when you're running a delay. You have to keep working for the baskets. You can't just diddle with it out here. You always have to look for the easy one and play the percentages.
Scott Bruckner with the basket, free throw that is. He has 7.
That's right. If you can get a easy bucket like that, you'd much rather give the other team the ball because it's still going to take them some time to score.
Scott nails the second one, and it's 44-36, biggest lead of the night at 8 points for Chilton. Wilson inside. Shot is blocked, and Eisner brings it out of there. Todd Eisner. And a minute 20 to play. Looking more and more like Chilton will advance to play Prairie du Chien. Bruckner, double team, gets it back out front, and a foul call. This one will be on Kevin Martins.
Nice bit of sportsmanship there by Jay Goldner. He ran into the Chilton player, and he wasn't trying anything on purpose. He went over and helped him up. It's nice to see kids, as hard as they're working, to be gentlemen like that on the floor and show that kind of sportsmanship.
Well, it is when you've come this far, especially, and 2 outstanding teams here tonight. It's tough for anyone to lose.
Absolutely.
But especially either of these 2. Now, Bruckner is sewing it up from the free throw line. He's got 3 straight from there in the last 30 seconds. A minute 12 to play, and Chilton by 9 and maybe 10.
And of course now Chilton, Coach Eisner saying don't foul, don't foul. Keep that clock running.
Bruckner got the long bounce rebound and almost turned it into a 3-point play. Wilson with the board, and here's Martins back now for Whitnall, and they have to put it up infrequently in a hurry, and he did there and got the lucky spin. Nice English, and it rolled in.
Great job of taking it inside. That's what you have to do when you're behind like that. Try to draw the foul.
55 seconds to play. Chilton by 7. And a reaching in foul now called on Jay Geldner. The 1 and bonus coming up.
Chilton fans getting excited. They're starting to smell victory right now, but it's not over. 44 ticks left on that clock. These still are 2 very important rebounds. Let's take another look at it right here. Definitely contact in there. Almost got the steal, but definitely got him on the arm.
How far have these young men come over the years? You got a 6'5" guy handling the ball out around the timeline, running the clock out.
Isn't that something?
46-38. Bruckner now 4 out of 5 in the clutch free throw department the last minute. It's a little different than the first period when you're shooting free throws. These,
sure,
with that clock hanging over your head, are majority importance. And you can see some tears of sadness and some of joy. those were of sadness as Whitnall loses the ball out of bounds. With that, they want timeout. 37 seconds left in this ball game. And we're going to be back here for the conclusion of this Class B semifinal contest in just 1 minute.
Make your plans to attend MATC's new campus this fall. Be among the first students at the new Madison Area Technical College campus. Apply now. Do not delay. Applications for fall classes at MATC's new campus are now being accepted.
Your best decision, maybe MATC.
The first and finest Lee Week is back at Farm and Fleet. That means the hottest prices on the largest selection of Lee jeans anywhere. Women's pre-washed riders are just $14.99. Men's Lee jeans are only $13.99. Pre-washed riders for girls, boys, and students are on sale too. London riders for women are $19.59. Girls are just $12.99. For great jeans, low prices, and free prizes, don't miss Lee Week at Farm and Fleet.
Regardless of where you are around the state tonight, you're enjoying this basketball game, and I'm sure you have throughout the 2 days if you're a basketball junkie like most of us. A great Class A game coming up around the great state of Wisconsin tonight. Our flagship station, WMTV Channel 15 Madison, WEAU Channel 13 Eau Claire. In Milwaukee, it's WCGV Channel 24, WXGZ Channel 32 in Green Bay Appleton, and in Wausau, WSAW Channel 7, as well as many cable systems throughout Wisconsin. We have another foul in Whitnall, and Jim Rock will be at the foul line with 34 seconds remaining. Chilton by 8.
Actually, good foul by Kevin Martins. He has to stop the clock. You can't worry who you foul now. You got it's your only chance, so you got to go for it. Incidentally, let's not fault Kevin on that last turnover over there. He had to take it in. He got a little excited, but you know, you got to make something happen. He tried.
Now Chilton owns a double-figure lead on Whitnall at 10 points, 48-38, biggest lead of the night for the Tigers. Shot is short by Martins, and the Tigers are on the break, 3-on-1 the other way. Woeful brings it back out, and 19 seconds remain. It'll be Chilton and Prairie du Chien for the Class B title tomorrow afternoon. And what a matchup that should be. Now we got a grabbing foul called.
Actually, the game is won with a 10-point lead, but a nice play by Woeful. He saw it, he'd have to take it in on a 6'5 guy. Just smartly took the ball back out, had the lead, and ran another 20 seconds off the lead.
2 points doesn't mean anything at this stage. The clock is what they want to expire.
Didn't make that much difference now, but, you know, in tomorrow night's game, if they're 2 ahead, it'd be a big, big play.
You bet. Geldner was whistled for that last foul. We have substitutions coming in now for Whitnall. They gave it a game effort here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Super effort by Whitnall. 2 very, very good teams, and as we said, it's too bad when you got 2 such great teams, one of them's got to lose, but there's really no loser out here. They can hang their head, or shouldn't hang their head. They can hold their head high because they did a great job.
Todd Eisner comes out with a great effort and a great hand. Wholesale substitutions on both sides. John Fredelick is in for Whitnall. And let's see who else we have in there. Ken Pavich. Brett Matchke is still in. Now Matchke comes out, and replacing him, Sean Rutka. Let's see, Coach, who else we got in there? Got all the relatives back home watching.
I think you got them all.
Let's get those names on TV, they're saying. Come on. I think Grabowski's in there. Mark Grabowski. Right. He is. These are still Whitnall players we're talking about. I think we got everybody.
Right, and Chilton's got Scott Brantmeyer. They've got Harvey Hepner.
Jeff Heemauer is in there. Let's see if we can beat the gun before Scott Pepin is in there. And there you have it, the end of the ball game. And the Tigers of Chilton methodically, impressively defeat an outstanding Whitnall Ball Club 49-38 here tonight in the Class B semifinal round. That means tomorrow afternoon, shortly past 2:30, it'll be Prairie du Chien 21, 22, and 3. Taking on Chilton now 21 and 4. The Class C game at 1:05. Oostburg 21 and 4 versus Whitehall 21-4, and we'll be here to call the action for you. Todd Johnson is standing by right now with a special guest.
Yes, sir. The special guest is the winning coach, Mr. Jim Eisner. And first of all, congratulations. Your team played well for the entire game.
Thank you. We were trying to control the tempo. We were able to. Plus, we were able to handle their press. So I'm real proud of the boys.
After the first half, I'm sure there were probably a lot of questions in your mind of whether you could pull away from this club.
Yeah, we didn't shoot. We only shot 32% the first half, and I knew we were a better shooting team. We shot 51 for the season, so I was hoping the shooting would pick up the second half, and it did.
It seemed like Todd, your son, came out in the second half too and seemed to control the game more than he did in the first half.
Right, he was a little tight, I think. He missed some shots he normally makes, and he played a little better and helped us stabilize our team the second half.
Now you've got an awfully tough task ahead of you in Prairie du Chien.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I think we're going to look forward to handling their press. I think our kids got some confidence tonight, so I'm looking forward to that game.
It seemed like most of your kids were pretty calm and in control most of the ball.
They do. They handle themselves real well. We've had some pressure games this year, and they've all showed real good poise.
You think you can handle that pressure from Prairie du Chien?
Well, we're hopeful of it. So far, so good.
Okay, congratulations again, Coach. The best of luck to you. Right now, we're going to take a break. One of your network sponsors is the Rural Companies, serving town and country folk alike.
You'll find Rural's insurance agents all over Wisconsin.
Boscobel,
Johnson Creek,
Fenimore, New London,
Thorpe, Waniwak,
Randolph,
Camelsport,
Weyerhaeuser, Stoughton, Bloomington, Mequon,
DeForest,
Plain,
Oconomowoc, Osseo,
Clover,
Watertown,
Winter, Rudolph,
Fort Atkinson,
Anico,
Fall Creek, Mineral Point.
So for protection, look to the Rural Companies.
Criminals go free on technicalities. Prisoners are released too soon and commit more crimes. These are your concerns. These are my concerns.
See all these new cars? Watch them disappear. That's what's happening during our 86 factory invoice sale, where we show you dealer cost only at Gordy Boucher, Lincoln Mercury.
Save on beautiful Easter flowers and plants when you buy a Farmland or Maple River ham. Look for Farmland's money-saving offer now in your grocery store or in your newspaper on Wednesday, March 26th.
With me now is the Mayville head coach, Mr. Bob Blair. His team lost to Whitnall in the sectional finals. And Bob, did you see anything different from Whitnall tonight?
No, they did basically the same thing they did against us here tonight. It just wasn't enough. And it kind of looked like the way we got beat. Whitnall beat us with their height. We couldn't control their big kid. And it looked like the same vice versa for Whitnall tonight. Todd Eisner and that Bruckner kid and the other 6'4" kid, they just had too much height for them. And so it kind of the opposite game for them than it was for us.
So Wilson played better in the game against you guys, right?
Well, he played well. I thought he played well tonight, too. He got a little tired the second half, but he played very well against us, and he hurt us on the offensive board, and he played well tonight. But they had Todd Eisner and that Bruckner kid to go with him, so they kind of neutralized him here. We couldn't control him in our game.
Okay. Now Chilton goes up against Prairie du Chien. That's got to be a pretty good ball game to watch.
Yeah, Prairie du Chien, they like to run up and down the floor. I think maybe Chilton will control the tempo of the ball game, so that might hurt them a little bit, because I don't think Chilton's going to run with them.
Okay, thanks a lot. Bob Blair from Mayville. Now let's go back to the table. We're getting set for the Class A semifinal game.
Thank you, Todd. With Clintonville High School basketball coach Carl Brugink, I'm Gary Duff, and a quick wrap on this game. Won by Chilton, 49-38 over Whitnall. Leading scorers, first off for outstanding and losing Whitnall Ball Club, 13 for Dwayne Wilson, the outstanding sophomore, 13 for Jim Hackstein, and for Chilton, 24 points for you-know-who, Todd Eisner, 10 for Bruckner, had a good second half, and 10 for the other, 11 for Mark Eisner, the other Eisner. Coach, a key play in the second half. Whitnall started out strong in the second half, had a 23-22 lead. Todd Eisner banged home a three-point play, got fouled, made the basket. They eventually opened it up to 5 at the end of 3 quarters, stretched it to 9, won it by 11. You go to your money man in that situation when you need to come from behind, regardless of how slim the margin.
Right, and you got to give them credit. The kids know they went to their big man when the chips were down. And like you said, that's why Coach Jim Eisner said they were better this year. Is last year Todd scored more. This year, instead of just depending on him, they moved it around, and Todd had a lot of assists himself. He's a very unselfish ball player. As a result, they had a lot more things going for him. And And yet when the time was right for they needed a bucket, they went to their money man, just like they did at the end of the third quarter there. When they needed the bucket, you got to give the rest of the kids credit. No one's trying to be a hero. They know where their bread and butter is, so they went to Eisner, and got to give the whole team credit for that.
Well, the spotlight brightens considerably tomorrow, and Coach Brugink and I will be here to call the championship game in Class C for you at 1 o'clock when Oostburg takes on Whitehall. And then that Class B game, what a dandy it should be. They both will be great games. Prairie du Chien taking on Chilton. Don't go away. I don't have to tell you that, but what the heck. It's going to be a great bat. I'm excited. And our good friend Paul Brown will be here along with Eli Krogan to call the Class A semifinal game between #1 Sheboygan North and #2 Wauwatosa East. Have a good evening, everybody. Now let's take time for this from your network sponsors.